So welcome to my review of the Tin Hifi P1 Plus. Unfortunately I haven't actually tried the original P1, which I've heard is quite hard to power. But yeah, I digress. So usual full disclaimer is this is actually sent out to me to review from Linsol, so thank you very much, I appreciate it. I was not paid to do this video and all the thoughts and opinions are my own. So yeah, another kind of planar model I've been really looking forward to, and plus this is kind of a different shell to this 7Hz timeless, which is more expensive than this. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. So like I said, this is the P1 Plus. Like I said as well, I've never tried the original. I've heard it's kind of hard to power and some people didn't actually like how it sounded, so I'm looking forward to this. And that's it. So nothing on the box really. Same here, nothing on the back. I have no idea if this is like the original. So again, TinHifi.com. Let's get one of these out. So I presume they seem to look exactly the same as the original. So this is the left one. There's a vent there. Very small casing in comparison to the actual 7Hz. So a massive difference. Both planar drivers, both left. So very different way of basically approaching planar. So yeah, looking forward to these. As you say, these are really small. Little lip on the nozzle. Very simple. Quite a nice presentation. So I'll try and get this out. That's it. Some documentation. I think that's it. So leather case, nice build. If I can get this out. You can scan that if you want. This is in 4K as well, so it should be a bit clearer. Cable here. I'll unbox that in a second. MM6. Would have been good if they did 2-pin, but it does look like a decent cable. Obviously like the carbon fibre effect, and 3.5. So foams. Yeah, some different silicone tips. So I like the ones that are already on it, and these ones are obviously a lot more generic, shall we say. And yeah, so I'm going to next clip see what the cable's like. Before I do that, I always like to show the whole packaging, because a lot of people seem to skimp on these sections, but when you're paying a lot of money for something, you want to see what you actually get in the box. So yeah, next clip I'll show what the cable looks like. So like I said earlier on, 3.5 carbon fibre effect, strain relief. Cable seems pretty good. There's no kinks in it. It seems fairly soft and like flexible. Strain relief. It's got the brand in there. There's a chin slider, which is very effective, if that matters to you. So to the connectors, it does say L, if it focuses, and it is colour coded, so it's kind of clear for the left, red for obviously for right. Focuses, but yeah, seems a good cable. Obviously I'm going to try this out and about to see if there's any real microphonics, and obviously I'm going to pull a few hours on the P1 Plus. Let's have another look at these. There's, as you say, they're quite small. I hope these are an improvement over the original. Again, it's a shame I have not tried them, but really small body. So yeah, pull a few more hours on these, and obviously I'll be back with my review, and obviously through the power of time that will be achieved. So yeah, next clip and a few days, and yeah, on to the review in the future. So finally on to the review of the Tin Hifi P1 Plus. So yeah, these do look exactly the same as the OG, the originals. As far as I know, well, to me they look exactly the same. Obviously these are very small. So yeah, let's get on to comfort and how they fit. They actually fit very well because they're very small and they actually are very comfortable. So just as a quick comparison, I know it's not the same, but here's a Blon BL-03 for the many people that have got them. See, they are very, the proportions are very, as you can see, very similar. So that's just kind of gauge the size. So they're very small. I had no issues. Comfort was actually good, and obviously the fit is good. You need fit and comfort because it can fit you very well initially, but it has to be comfortable for the longer period of time. So yeah, fit and comfort was fine. Isolation again was good, so there's no issues with anything like that. Powering it, so to power these is more than normal, but compared to the original, which needed basically like a power station, these aren't like that. They need more than normal, but it's nothing to really like worry about, which is kind of good. So which is good to see that they've actually improved the power part, because it was crazy, the original. So yeah, congrats to TinHifi for actually improving that. So it's actually powering it is fine, really. So imaging is actually quite good as well, and natural micro details are good, but I'll get into the sound in a minute. So like now I'm going to overlay a graph of what they look like. As you can see, it's extremely flat. So let's start from left to right. So bass, it depends on the graph you look at, but mine does roll off in the sub bass. Some other people's keeps it more level, but again, it does have low end. There's just not much of it, but it sounds extremely clean. You know, if you're a bass head, obviously these aren't for you, but the low end there is just enough. It's not completely anemic, but it's got enough there, and I'll explain later on the whole thing, how you can kind of change it. But bass, very clean, very linear, good texture to it. It's fine. Not good for bass heads, but I'll explain why later on. Mids, as you can see, like ruler flat frequency response. I had no issues with vocals. Everything sounded clear as it should do. Nearly natural. The 7 Hz timeless, which I did before this, obviously is a planar, but that's tuned a bit differently, but I'll do a separate video on that. But yeah, mids very clean. There's a small rise towards the top. Again, no issues at all. Very clean, very crisp, which is really good to see. There's no weird peaks or anything like that. And yeah, straight into the treble. Pretty much again the same story across the board. No real elevations, very clean. No harsh peaks or anything like that, which is kind of cool, which is actually really kind of good to see. And yeah, as you can see, no problems at all with the treble. Now, EQ is the thing. EQ is your friend. Being planar, and especially these are extremely sensitive to how EQ works. So what I mean by that is you can EQ these to your heart's content. So it's like TinHifi, there you go. It's a clean slate. You tune it exactly how you want, type of thing. Obviously it's quite kind of funny how they do it. Like I say, it's like a clean slate. I say it's so neutral. It's like giving it to your customers, saying, "Oh, there you go, tune it how you want." That's kind of it. But as you can see from all the way across it, from left to right, it is very, very flat, which is good or bad. Now the 7 Hz timeless is very different. It's more coloured in comparison. This is like I say, like a clean slate. You can, if you're willing to EQ, you can do what you want with it. But overall, the actual sound signature is very clean. Resolution's good. The tonality is very good. It's just flat. So for an amateur, for a first time buyer of earphones and things like that, this probably is not really, I don't think it's really suitable for that. This is more for the experienced person who uses EQ, and they can EQ the crap out of it to whatever they like. But yeah, I like what they've done. It is better than the original one, which is very important. But overall, the tonality is good. I wouldn't say these are amazing planar, but they are much better if you're willing to EQ. As you can see, the original frequency response, which you can see, it's the flattest I've probably ever seen. But on the whole, they are good, but they are better with some EQ thrown on them. They've got great potential, is probably the best word to use. But yeah, on the whole, I like what they've done. It's not too bad at all. Like some of Tin's releases lately have been kind of disappointing, like the Tin T2 Evo, which is a shame really. And like the T5 didn't really get a recognition, but this is actually not too bad at all. They made an improvement over the original and actually costs a little bit less, which is good. And yeah, so conclusion is, out of the box, what these are, they're okay. These are beasts with an EQ thrown at them. I'm glad they are easier to power, and they're quite comfortable. As you say, these are tiny. These are very small. Shame they're not 2-pin, but yeah, I know they're quite good. They perform very well across a few genres. Not everything, because at the box, like if you like EDM or trance or anything like that, you want more low end really, but which they don't do. But with the EQ they do. So out of the box they're kind of okay, but with EQ they've got big potential. So yeah, I think that's going to be it. So yeah, so thank you very much for watching and take care.